And I forgot to unmute myself because I'm a
Two
professional.
places. It's fine.
We're trying new stuff out.
We're trying new stuff. Stuff on OBS isn't working. We'll
It's
get
a
this
Thursday.
fixed as people introduce themselves. I am your host and game master at MadSideM on Twitter, and we are here for Cipher System and the Bleeding Edge. So I am real quick going to fire it over to our intrepid individuals and players to introduce themselves, starting with Taryn.
Hey, yeah, that's right. I'm Taryn Winnie. You can find me at Tarzan OZ. I'll be playing the lovable Texas AI, the damages and litigation liaison and supervisor, otherwise known as Dallas. So,
Excellent. And do you mind introducing your character in terms of their,
right, the whole cipher
type
thing. Yeah,
description?
I'm
Yeah.
really bad at this thing. So, yeah. Dallas is a charming speaker who solves mysteries.
Excellent.
So,
Excellent. So Cipher System is a game about discovery, both about our characters and the world around them as a focus, and they're described with a character sentence. So they are a blank blank who blanks, an adjective verb, or an adjective noun who verbs, as it is. So that is their description, their type, and their focus. So next, I will kick it up to Alexis.
Hello, I'm Alexis. You can find me at Vox Fanato. It's right up here. Did I point the right direction? Anyway, it's above my head. You can follow me on Twitter for all kinds of fun stuff. Real quick, fun thing is next week I'm going to be running a Teldori one shot on Tuesday instead of our normal Dragon Heisters, which I run on Dice Priority. So that's where you can find me. It's where I stream most of my stuff, and also here. I am playing Loretta Rain. She is a hideous technological speaker who leads. She has some severe scarring, as you can see, all over her face, on her right side, and her neck, down one arm, and her mousy brown hair just doesn't grow quite right in that area where her scarring is the worst. And she also has, if you notice, some tech parts at the base of her skull and at her wrists.
Excellent, excellent. All right, continuing it around, we have some new Cypher players. And so introducing them live for the very first time. And let's start at the top with Kyle.
Hey folks, I'm Kyle, also known as Technoscald. I use he, him pronouns. And you can find me mostly here and occasionally on the Twitters and on the blogs. Um, and I today am playing Nuvayan Sertaz, a brash technological warrior who fuses flesh and steel.
Excellent,
This
excellent.
is my first time playing any sort of Cypher System game, so I really have no idea what I'm doing.
That's okay. We will figure it out. So continuing down, we have Anders.
Hi, I'm Anders. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me on the internets at Anders_D_K. And tonight I will be playing Sophie Cardenas, who uses she, her pronouns. And she's a little 4'6" red-haired spitball and an inquisitive technological explorer who builds robots. Spitfire. Spitball? What's a spitball? She's a spitfire.
She spitballs while she's building robots. And
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
also
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
Spitfire. I got it. We got it. It's all good. Okay. And last but not least, we have Adam.
Hello, I'm Adam. I can be found on Twitter at Adam_J_Pearson or at Variant Roles usually. Tonight, I have the honor of playing the Honorable Combat Trained Explorer who is licensed to carry in the near future, known as Cole McNamara. Cole is a bit of a mercenary and a bit of a gunslinger.
Excellent. All right. So one of the conceits of the Bleeding Edge in this transhumanist future is, of course, in the inner system and in other parts of transhumanity where it is reached among the stars. The corporate systems and the corporate overlords have quite a lot of power in some locations. And in this case, one of the worst is Monolith Systems, who, oddly enough, has a whole lot of stuff that they do. And you all belong as agents to an organization known as Watchtower, which has people all over, embedded in corporations, in governments, and operating outside of corporate space as well, who are concerned predominantly with protecting transhumanity from existential threats, which includes the machinations of the hypercorporations. In particular, Monolith is absolutely the blatantly evil corporation who is frequently messing with stuff outside of their power and control. It gets loose, people die. They're the protogen of this world. And so Watchtower keeps an eye. So, at the moment, you have been tasked with infiltrating one of their stations, Pholos Station. So Pholos is one of the centaurs. It's a large asteroid that moves through the solar system, crossing the orbits of several others. And on Pholos Station, Monolith has a small repair station, refueling depot, a little bit of trade, but it's basically just like a corporate depot. They do some R&D there officially, and of course they also have a black lab. Monolith has informed you that they believe that they have recovered a large alien data store and potentially an alien AI that is at least semi-functional. Monolith wants you to retrieve all of that if possible and destroy what you can't and leave nothing behind. They can't give you any official cover, because normally there's a corporation that sometimes it's controlled by Monolith, but it actually is owned, or it's controlled by Watchtower, but is owned by Monolith. And that would be you're in several of you, like Loretta and Dallas, frequently work for this security organization. But that's not possible right now. So you have to think of your own way into the station. They have given you a ship, and we can decide what kind of ship that is as a group, and one of Watchtower's artificial intelligence. So you have that to give you some help. But we're gonna do something a little different. We're not gonna start at the beginning. We will begin at the end. You're outside, deep inside Pholos Station, as a pair of blast doors slide open and cold vapor from the temperature differential rolls out into the hallway. The room is shockingly, blindingly bright. But the light doesn't appear to come from any point source. It casts no shadows anywhere in the room. There's work tables. There are crystalline data cubes, cables snaking to and from to pieces of equipment, some of which you recognize, some of which you don't. And then the light flickers and goes out. How did we get to this place? As a new light flicks into existence deep in the room, seemingly coming from a pile of these data cubes with connections snaking off of it. And it glows with a harsh, cold, white light. And a sound echoes through the room, just like... And the doors behind you snap closed. Now, let's find out a little bit about each of our characters.
Ah!
All right, Dan, what you doing here, bud? That wasn't in the dang primer.
All right. So first,
Well,
what was your group's approach to the station? Did you decide to take a stealthy ship, as in a state-of-the-art stealth ship intended for military-style secret ops, black ops infiltration? Or did you come more openly in perhaps a ship that is meant to look like just a simple trading vessel?
well, I am practiced in disguise and stealth, so I think that Loretta would have been fine going either way.
I think
She's quite adaptable.
Cole
It's gotta compete.
would have been helpful with the regular ship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think the regular ship is good. By the way, how's my audio now?
Yep. Okay. So I'm hearing a bit of a consensus, or at least 3 out of 5 that think a
that's good.
regular sort of civilian style ship. sounds like a
Rocinante
good
style.
idea.
There we go.
Well, the Rocinante is like a military.
That's a military warship.
Disguised as a gas ship, but like the gas ship disguise is us. Like we're not a military ship, we're a gas ship.
Yes. Absolutely. And that could be a possibility too, like a military ship that is pretending to be a civilian ship.
Well, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Excellent.
That seems smart.
Smart is good.
Okay. So we have a military ship disguised as like a freighter. All right. And what are we going to call this ship?
How chintzy do we want to go?
It's got to seem something nondescript. So,
Where
something like
where are we coming from? Like, I'm assuming Earth-based ships have different naming schemes than like Mars-based ships than like belt-based ships. So like,
Yeah, so a lot of I think a lot of people, I mean, humans being humans, a lot of people are going to draw from history, but of course there's more recent history that's not shared by everybody in the solar system. I would say that it would make the most sense for you to be coming from the belt.
What about something like solar winds?
Sure. All right.
Sounds
Solar
good.
winds. All right. Your AI brittles a little bit at the name, that thinks it's a little too flowery for their tastes.
can the AI be named Cyrus?
Sure, the AI can be Cyrus.
There we go. That was the name I had in mind for the ship, but I'll go with that for the AI.
Sure. Okay. So we've got an AI named Cyrus, and we have a ship that is currently flying under the name Solar Winds. Okay. So I want to know from one of our new characters. So Duvain, what did Duvain do before he joined Watchtower?
He was a young, I don't have his voice yet, so I don't know what I'm doing yet. But he was certainly a young engineer, sort of like, you know what we think of today, like electromechanical type engineer.
Okay. All right. So he's an engineer. All right. And does his trade as an engineer have to do anything? Or is that reflected in his current focus, which is that he fuses flesh with steel?
Yeah. So I think that he was in some sort of a terrible accident, like a crash of some sort. And as part of that recovery, they salvaged what they could of his body and replaced the rest with prosthetics. Maybe that was the sort of thing that he was working on before his accident.
Okay, yeah, so he's a bit of an inventor.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent, excellent. All right. So we have two speakers. We've got Loretta and Dallas. And so these are the people who kind of naturally tend towards being your upfront folks. So when the Solar Winds is coming in towards Folus Station, given that you're disguising yourself as a civilian ship, I'm assuming you're making like a straightforward approach, like flying in sort of normal, got your beacons on, all that sort of thing.
I think that would be right.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you get close, you get pinged with a contact request from Folus Station.
Does the AI normally handle those, or just one of us?
They usually they often want to talk to human crew.
Dallas, you want this, or should I take it?
We could always tag team it.
That's
If they're,
fair.
if they're feeling chatty, we can too, right?
That's right.
So, yes, hello. This is Solar Winds. I'm just looking to dock, maybe do a little bit of trade.
Refuel, that sort of thing.
Yeah, just a little blip on the map on our way in further into the system.
Okay, so you get a bounce back, and the person on the other end goes, Roger that, Solar Winds. You're approaching Folus Control. This is Leanne Marquez in the control room. We do have some limited facilities, although this is a corporate station. Might not be authorized to trade, but if you need some refueling, I'm sure we can handle you.
Well, Leanne, that sounds mighty lovely, and we'll take you up on whatever you got.
All right, Roger that. Dial in your AI on the following coordinates, and we'll lead you into docking slip number 426B.
Cyrus, you picked up on that, right?
Indeed, I did, Dallas.
Why do you have to talk to me like that? It's all weird.
Cyrus don't miss a beat.
What bothers you with my communication style, Dallas?
It just sounds like you're trying to seduce me, honestly.
I like it. I think you should keep it.
Dallas,
I like it, Cyrus.
I think you need to service your servos.
I'm not sure if I understood what he was trying to insinuate there, but
He thinks you've been in a dry spell and you should do something about it.
Alex just kind of looks over, tips his bucket cowboy hat. All right.
I'm sorry, Cyrus. I should have asked. What do you prefer? Certain pronouns?
In this current incarnation, I do enjoy he.
All right. No offense meant. Sorry about that.
That's quite all right, Loretta. All right, and so Cyrus sort of takes control of the AI, and the ship comes in, and it docks, and hatch sort of seals on an umbilical tube as you're sort of on the outer rotating part of the station, and there is like the all clear signal that everything is ready to go.
And I guess we all disembark.
All right.
What's
So
everyone
the-
look like? I'm just curious as what I'm looking at with my fellow characters.
That is a good question. Let's see what everybody looks like. So let's start with Cole. Cole, what's Cole look like?
Cole wears pretty normal, but rough and tumble kind of what would be the near future equivalent of like outdoorsy kind of get in a scrape, kind of go out off trail clothing. He does have a holster at his hip that has a gun inside of it. He wears shades that seem to be a little bit more than maybe just regular sunglasses, and they kind of like switch over to regular glasses when he's inside. And he usually has a toothpick in his mouth that is actual wood. He somehow manages to have on him.
Which is probably like ridiculously expensive to have in space is a real wooden toothpick, and not only that, but presumably a bit of a supply of them.
Yeah. Yep. Somehow.
Yeah, so that like that little canister from Walmart that's got like 100 toothpicks in it for like $1. Yeah, it's probably a couple of $100 or something. Yeah,
Probably buy them individually at this point,
yeah.
or like a pack of 5 or something, real small.
Yeah, because people who want to look like they use real wood toothpicks have like pressed fiber bamboo, like that kind of thing, but like an actual wooden toothpick. Okay, excellent. So that is good for Cole. What about Sophie?
So Sophie is 4'6", and she wears like a very oversized set of overalls that sort of just like billow at her feet and like are really baggy on her. A big pair of like workers' gloves. She's got red hair that's spiky and cut in a way that makes you think that she probably chopped it off herself when it got caught in something. And like there's a bit of it that looks like it may have been burned off. She clearly does not care about what her hair looks like. She just needs it out of the way. And then just a big pair of goggles, so she can work on her robots. She does have one little robot assistant with her at the moment, and it's just this little floating orb, just real tiny, and she calls it Orb.
Excellent. Nice
and Orb just constantly just right next to her little friend.
So like a less threatening version of the Imperial probe droids.
Yeah, like a really cute version.
Yeah, like the Disney DreamWorks version.
Exactly.
Does it have like a glowing smiley face on it?
No, but when it kind of like needs to do things, it like opens up a little bit and has this like little circle of like glowy light that changes color that tells you its mood. So pinks,
Excellent.
greens, reds if it's angry.
Excellent. And why did Sophie join Watchtower?
I think Sophie got caught stealing cords and wires, and she probably got into Watchtower's power grid and was taking them for all they're worth because she wanted what they had, and they made her a deal because she couldn't defend herself, but she clearly knew what she was doing. So they said, you can work for us and we won't, I don't know, kill you or arrest you. I'm not quite sure what Watchtower's policy is, but
it
they made her
probably
a deal.
involves deletion of your mind.
Yeah.
Oh. True death. Okay, excellent. And what does Duvain look like?
Duvain has a robotic prosthetic left arm, left leg, much of his left torso, and you can see what at first has the shape of like literally just an exposed brain, but is actually more of a casing that is kind of filigreed to look like a brain, because it grosses people out. But other than that, it's not actually that. Anyway, his left side is mostly cyborg. His eyes, you can't see his eyes. They are like thin-ish red. They would be glasses, except you can't really see too much eyes behind them. And his left side, his right side rather, whenever you can see skin, his hand or face or whatever, is fairly dark-skinned and short-haired.
Okay, excellent. Dallas.
Yes. Now Dallas wears sort of a very finely pressed like red flannel shirt, like red and black, tucked into jeans with a belt and a big belt buckle on it, boots, a duster jacket, bolo around the neck, big 10-gallon hat. Just as much like classic Western apparel as he can find. Yes, finely pressed.
He shouldn't be Dallas. He should be Fort Worth.
Oh,
That was a very niche joke, Kyle.
That's
I
a
appreciate it.
that's a deep Texas cut right there.
Yeah.
Listen,
right.
let me tell you, as somebody who's lived in Dallas his whole life,
Yeah. Anyway, so he's got that, and then he's got sort of tucked under one shoulder on like a sling, sort of hidden underneath the duster is a shotgun, and then he carries a briefcase pretty much at all times. But to get to actual Dallas's like, you know, AI robot body is almost sort of that like matte black from K2SO from Rogue One, sort of that kind of vibe.
Yeah, yeah. And I think we decided in the past that Dallas is super old,
Mm-hmm.
right? And is like an original, like digitized human consciousness put in a robot body, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Which is not unusual, but what's unusual is that you've stayed in a robot body for like ever.
For a long time.
Yeah,
Like,
you're like first gen digitized human. Like
and have developed some quirks because of that, let's say.
yeah. Yeah. You're a bit closer
Hence-
to human than an AI, but you're a bit closer to an AI than most humans. You're definitely in between. Excellent. All right, and Loretta, we know about Loretta's scars and injuries, but what else about her?
Well, I have a quick question about that. What kind of attire would we know that people would basically be wearing on this station? Because she would be
Like
trying to blend in.
like utility. I mean, the thing is, it's a very depending on what you do. Like most of the people there are going to be wearing some sort of like corporate overall kind of thing.
All right. Well, that's more or less what she's going to be wearing. It's going to be relatively faded, and she will have. Let's see. You can tell by her appearance that she was probably somewhat attractive before the incident. And she is pretty decent with talking to people most of the time, so long as they can look past her appearance. But her appearance has also given her a good opportunity to kind of blend in. People don't want to look at her, so they don't look at her, and sneaking around is much easier for her. So she is dressed to blend in as much as possible on this station. Anything that she has that will be useful is hidden within the pockets of her overalls and that sort of thing, just stowed away neatly. She looks like she has makeup that ain't been touched in a few days. And she, takes care of herself hygiene wise, but she does not really care too much about maintaining any sort of appearance. Her hair is mousy and tousled and that sort of thing.
Excellent. All right, so I did just deal everybody a single cipher card. It's got 2 entries on it. Some of them, because they come from the strange, may or may not sort of have the right feel, so we can always adjust, its exact nature of that cipher. So I'm giving you 1 to start. I think each of you can carry up to 2, so you might discover some more. So you've got an option between these 2, but when you use one, the whole card's gone. So you can pick at the time which card you're going to, or which version of the cipher you're going to use. So ciphers are kind of part of the heart of Cipher System. Think of them as like, if this was D&D, it's like a potion. It's a magic item. It's a single use kind of thing, and then it's gone. And the reason why you can only hold 2 is, unstable energies. So if you try and pick up a 3rd cipher, one of yours will break and become non-functional. So use them when you got them. Don't hoard them, because they make the game far more interesting. Thank you very much, Monty Cook Games, for the host. Appreciate that as always. And all right, so when you get off the ship, you are greeted at the docks by a couple of security agents, and we will.
Oh, it's
go.
happening. It's happening.
We will see who these two security guards are. I'm using the Cypher System NPC deck for our NPCs, so they're actually all randomly generated people.
That's so cool.
There's two NPCs there. One of them has Farley as like the name badge, and the other one is Goldberg. So they're Farley is a man. He's skinny.
Is it Chris Farley just living in a station down by the solar system?
Yeah, except he's skinny.
No.
This is Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is his brother.
I
Mom's
didn't know.
brother.
Yeah, it's his little brother, Colin.
Yeah. And then there is Goldberg. She's a woman, darker skinned, and very fit. You can see she's just like she's incredibly toned, even though she's got this, baggy security uniform on. Like the lines of her face, all very chiseled. And she takes the lead and kind of quickly scans over you and says, "You'll have to leave your weapons on the ship."
See if he's fine with me. Go back.
Now, this
Okay.
seems like a situation that we might have predicated ourselves into. And I'm going to try to just fast talk our way past this, which is an
Okay.
ability that I have.
Absolutely. All right. I was going to say, let's get some dice rolling here.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I also have fast talk. May I assist with also fast talking?
You
Loretta
can.
and Dallas.
All right.
You can. Yeah, so you both have the skill. Actually, looking at your sheet, you might be better off using one of your other abilities, which is good advice.
All right.
Because he's already skilled in fast talk, so the way that the help action works is in Cypher is if you are trained in a skill and somebody else isn't, and you help them, it treats it as if they are trained, right?
All right. All right.
So which will help in the roll. If you're not yourself skilled, it gives them a +1, which in Cypher is less good, right? Than having a level of something as a skill. Although I think your good advice basically gives them training in a skill as well, doesn't it?
That's right.
That's right. All right, so either one, I guess, will work. And what we'll do is I'll treat it as an asset in this case.
All right.
So this can fill the asset role. All right, so how are you going to fast talk?
So basically I'm just trying to confuddle them in a way that makes them think that we actually have the ability to carry our firearms on board.
Okay.
We have some sort of special permit.
Dispensation.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so this is
We
like
reference
your
the name of
supervisor
the
didn't tell
control that helped us dock.
you. Yeah. All right. Okay, so the way this is going to work. All right, so fast talk. You are going to spend 1 intellect out of your you're going to spend 1 point out of your intellect pool to use the ability.
And I have 1 intellect edge, which drops that to 0. So, and I forgot to put all that stuff on the spreadsheet because I didn't see that until I woke up from my nap at 6:28. So
That is quite all right. Okay,
next
so
time.
yes, so your edge subtracts off. Okay, so we're at 0.
Mhm.
And you've got an asset. So fast talk, I think, also works. All right, is to give them it's a creature to take a reasonable action in the next round. So you're gonna be like, like let us through.
These aren't the firearms you're looking for, sort of
That's
situation.
right. That's right. So normally this kind of like just works because it's like a reasonable action. Convincing them that you're totally licensed to carry your weapons on board is
This is a
probably
little bit
not,
stretchy.
is not actually reasonable. But what I'll do is we'll use it as like essentially a skill in your social interaction. So we'll use it that way. And you are actually, well, this is not necessarily pleasant social interaction, but you're trained in all social interactions, but you have an inability in pleasant social. Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at Loretta.
Yeah,
I have
okay.
that inability because
I'm bad at
hideous.
defending from mind attacks.
Yeah. So this is a guard. Guards aren't terribly hard. So your standard guard is a level 2. And that's all this guard is. So the difficulty the difficulty of the challenge is a 2. In Cypher, that translates to a target number that is that times 3. So your target number is 6. So you'd have to roll a 6 or higher on a d20. But given your like use of ability and an asset, normally I take it down 2 steps. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say the total of that we're going to move down 1 step. So from a 2 to a 1. So you only need a 3 or higher.
Okay, let's see if I can't screw this up. That's a 19.
Hey, we did it.
So a 19 is actually a minor success.
That's
Or
right.
a minor effect.
Yeah.
Hey.
Do you remember what are some of the suggestions for minor effect for your character?
I don't know if I have that written down. Minor effect. Where would I find that in Cypher in the book?
It's usually, I think, under your focus.
Okay.
Under your verb, yeah.
Oh, the charming.
No, the focus.
Yeah, your focus. It says page
who's-
143 on this page here. I don't know if that helps for your whatever you're looking at.
Yeah,
this
I've
will
got
be a
my-
different page number.
Darn. So in that vicinity, probably.
Yeah.
But I think in this case, it probably just makes sense for it to be they buy it a bit, and what they actually do is they don't agree that you're licensed, but it's the whole like, let me go talk to my supervisor. And so Goldberg leaves to go get extra information, but Farley stays. So you're left right now in this room, the other side of which there's like a small concourse and hallway, but there's only one guard here at the moment.
All right.
So what do you do? What about
Is there
yeah, Duvane?
is there any sort of computer system sitting around?
Well, I mean, the good thing is this is an advanced space station, so there is literally computer stuff everywhere.
What I'm trying to think about is if I can go and kind of the equivalent of pretending to check my email.
Yep.
But in reality, see if I can go register us as having some sort of permit. Like I'm just going to go check the news or whatever, and actually be like, yes, we are entirely licensed to carry.
Absolutely. Okay. So yeah, there's a terminal over there, like a public access kind of terminal that's basically for just pulling up basic information about like the layout of the station and all of that. But everything is networked because no one listens to Admiral Adama. So you go to work on it. And what I'm going to say is, if you want to basically start hacking this, that first you're going to use your data jack. I mean, you don't need the data jack to hack, but that's going to
I have
give
it.
you an
so-
asset going forward. Okay, so you spend one point out of your intellect pool to activate that.
Okay.
And what does it look like when Duvain jacks into the computer?
I think that from, I think that basically he inserts his left pinky into some sort of receptacle. Just,
Okay, like the tip of his finger comes off, and there's a little probe.
yeah,
He
and you
sticks it
see
in.
like, you know, like an RJ45 on the end and stick.
Look, this is all 10 or this is all 100 gig networking now.
Okay, so
None of-
RJ69. All right.
Nice. All right, so you
Nice.
RJ69 your way into the computer.
Very nice.
Okay, so you spend the one intellect point, and you're now in there, and you're gonna try and basically access appropriate records and insert some fake data, which will assume that you've got that kind of thing like loaded and ready to go. You've got some like pre-made profiles to like drop into a computer system for exactly this kind of thing. So this is going to be harder because you're hacking into a corporate system, but it's not like, at least for this outer part of the station, it's not military grade. So I am going to assign this a challenge level of 5. So this is getting hard, but it's not, impossible. So you would need to roll 15 or higher, but you've got an asset, right? So the data jack gives you an asset to this. So that reduces it from a 5 to a 4.
I have a question.
Yes?
This is something that I believe we would have had some sort of plan in place. Well, we at least would have known about each other's abilities enough
For sure.
that maybe I could use my spin identity ability right now and sort of come in and say, yes, this is the person that I am, the person that he's about to pull up on this screen.
So at the moment, this is happening when you're talking with Lara.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So this might come in a little bit later. The spin identity.
Understood.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yes, we've gone from a 5 to a 4.
Which means
Now,
what?
so that reduces so you've got the challenge number and then the like what you need to roll, and what you need to roll is always 3 times higher than whatever that number is. So you've reduced the difficulty from a 5 to a 4. Now I'm also looking at your sheet, and you are trained in computers. You have that as a skill. So that will reduce it 1 more. So we're already down to a 3. So we've got an asset and a skill in play. Now the next, if you wanted to do this, would be spending effort. So spending a level of effort, which as tier 1 characters, you can only spend 1 level of effort. You'll spend 3 points out of the relevant pool, which again reduces by 1 step. So in this case, you would spend from intellect. So you'd spend 3 points out of your intellect pool, which will reduce it to a 3.
Reduce my
It would reduce
Okay.
reduce the challenge, so it went from a 5 to a 4,
4.
right?
Okay.
And then, so it
3
went
to
from
a
a 5
2,
to a
right?
4 with the asset. It went from a 4 to a 3 because of your skill, and then if you spend a level of effort, like you're putting extra mental power into your hacking, it'll go to a 2.
Okay.
So then your target
And
number is 3
become to
times
6.
that. So it'd be 6. So you went from a DC 15 to a DC 6.
I got you. Right. Do we feel like this is important enough to bring our weapons in there? Probably, right?
Yeah. And
Okay.
honestly, like spending, this is what you're supposed to do in Cypher.
All right.
Spending out of your
All right.
pools.
No point in saving it, is what you're saying.
That's
All
right.
right. Let's see what happens.
Use your pools.
That's right.
It's an
What'd you
8.
roll?
An 8.
Yes.
So that made the difference.
Hey.
All right. So you've preloaded in the package that basically identifies, and this is the kind of thing, like, because you don't have official cover, this is like just a quick and dirty, like, any level of inspection on this, it's not going to cut the mustard. But for just, quick work, it should get you in.
We won't be here long.
All right. So while that's happening, right? So Loretta is talking. Goldberg basically is just exiting the room. Duvane's just finishing on the computer. Cole, Sophie, what are you two doing?
Is our AI with us? Did Cyrus?
Your
Cyrus, right?
AI is embedded on the ship. Yeah. So they can occasionally communicate with you. Although now that when you're in the station, it's depending, it's not necessarily like encrypted communication.
Are there any other computer systems around? Like any other sort of consoles or pan-
Yeah, there's Dallas.
Dallas, hi.
That's right.
We literally brought one with us.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
The AI who thinks they're a cowboy.
Hey.
Anything else would be sort of like a small wall terminal, like environmental controls, lighting, like glorified smart light switch, right? And there'd be the airlock controls that are connected to your ship.
Well, I feel like I would just go and I would start messing with things. I would just start pushing buttons on one of those panels because that's what Sophie would do. So that's what I'm going to go do. I want to go just start pushing buttons on things. Just figure out how they work by pushing the buttons.
Oh,
my God,
excellent.
yes.
I love this.
I love Sophie so much. Oh my gosh.
I love this.
This is going to be
now,
great.
So you do have a machine interface.
I do. Yes, I do.
So is there any particular thing while you start like randomly, or let's say quasi-randomly, you're smart, Sophie's smart,
Yeah.
she knows things. But when you start punching in buttons, do you have an objective?
I want to figure out what it does, and then I want to figure out if I can figure out how it does what it does, like the code behind the thing that it does, and then I want to figure out if I can change the thing that it does to do something else that's more fun or more helpful, or I want to change it, but I don't care what it does.
All right. So the lighting and environmental controls exactly sounds like the best place to be messing around with that, because the airlock,
Perfect.
that's just dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay. So making it do something useful and more interesting, I'm going to say is like a little challenging, right? Because environmental, like lighting is easy. Turning off the lights is easy. Environmental controls are like pretty, it's like the Belters, right? They're paranoid about that kind of thing. So it's a little bit locked down. So let's say there's probably going to be degrees of success to this in terms of the outcome. Getting it to do something interesting and super useful in whatever flavor of useful, I'm gonna say a level 6.
Does this panel control artificial gravity?
So there is no artificial gravity.
Okay.
So this is a spin station. So you're at low G, but you're used to this kind of environment.
Okay.
Yeah, you're probably at like at best probably somewhere less than 1/3 G, as the asteroid's been like artificially spun up.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, you got your mag boots. This is very much like the Expanse. So I'm gonna say a challenge level 6, which is an 18 or higher on the dice. But
Okay.
if you spend 2 intellect to activate your machine interface while you're doing this, then that decreases it's decreased by 1 step for 1 minute while you're monkeying around with this. So that's probably a good spend.
Yep.
You go from a 6 to a 5.
I should knock down my pool, not my max. Oops.
That's right. Okay. So,
Oh yeah, they're flipped from what you would normally probably think
yeah.
it would be in.
And let's see. I don't see any skills, I think, that will particularly come into play.
Nope, I'm just pushing buttons. It's
Yeah.
really all I'm doing. It's just I just want to push buttons. I want to push as many buttons as I can and make something happen.
Okay. So perfect. So let's leave this at a 5. So that's a 15 or higher on the dice.
Okay. That would be an 8. So
Excellent.
no.
Excellent. So you start mashing buttons, and a poor outcome would just be that it doesn't
Hit it a few
work.
times.
But I'm going to introduce a shift here. So I'm
Yeah.
going to give you an experience point. So you can mark an XP
Cool.
on your sheet. There's a little checkbox there, and you get to decide someone else to give an XP to as well.
I'm gonna give it to my friend who's also messing with the computer. So, Devane, I believe it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you give that to Duvane. Oh,
Oh, I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry.
that's okay. I will get everybody
Shuffle.
fixed back here in a moment as we do the Zoom shuffle.
Let's play the Zoom shuffle.
Oh no.
Silly
Oh
Zoom.
no.
It's just one of those nights. It
I'm
just happens.
sorry.
It's all right.
I was,
Well,
It's
my
all right,
accent
dear.
isn't going to change very much if I'm playing Dallas now.
So
You're dressed much more sharply though.
So what
That's right.
happens?
Is we all switch bodies.
Yes.
Ah!
Oh, the music.
Freaky Friday shenanigans.
Yeah, and
Yes.
of course, the thing that I set up is there we go.
Oh, hi, Roll20. You're making music now.
I love it when music
Okay.
happens.
There is a blaring klaxon,
No.
and the alarms go off.
Oops. I'm still pushing buttons. Did not stop doing it.
So
I haven't done
everything goes dark. The alarms start going, and emergency lighting is flickering.
Well, shit. Cole, you want to take this one? Yes, thank you. That's exactly
Yeah.
what I wanted.
Yeah, the guard Cole is like, hand immediately goes to the like stunner on his belt.
And as because it says I'm training my arm. I'm basically a monk in Cypher, but I imagine as my hand comes out, like a metal bar like flies up my coat sleeve, wraps around my knuckle, and I just like sucker punch him with these extendable brass knuckles that just like pop him and like electrify him, because my fists count as medium weapons and not light weapons.
That's right. That is right.
That's amazing.
Oh.
That's right. Let me just finish getting you all back in place.
Yes,
There we
yes,
go.
yes.
Okay, so this is a level 1 guard, and you are making a melee attack. So you take like the couple steps needed to sort of get to them and pop them in the face. So you have your choice here. Melee attacks, you get your choice on whether this is going to be might or speed that you use, if you're going to spend anything.
I think after talking with you, given that I'm kind of a gunner, I think I'm supposed to be more speed based than might based.
Yeah, and might's the pool that like when you take damage where it comes
Yeah.
from.
So, and I know you said you were going to look at it, but I figured you ran out of time. But I assume I could just swap the might and speed pools that they gave me, and that was nothing.
I took a
nothing
look at it
bad
and it
with
was
it.
fine. Yeah,
Okay.
it fit within the yeah, so you get to treat it as a medium weapon, which is great. Okay, so you go up to pop. So again, the guard's only a level 2.
Yep.
And now the great thing is, I think, oh yeah, you get your choice. So the choice is, if you treat it like a light weapon, it's easier to hit somebody. If you treat it like a medium, it takes more. So like a light weapon automatically reduces the difficulty by 1,
Ah, okay.
right?
Okay,
And
okay.
a medium doesn't, but you don't suffer any penalties for attacking with a medium weapon because you're practiced with them. So if you want, you can spend a level of effort, right, to to reduce your the difficulty here.
0 if I use a light weapon.
Can I ask a question, Dan?
Absolutely.
Would my encouragement of Cole going forward benefit my encouragement skill, which would encourage him to be better at attack stuff? Inspiring oration.
Yeah. So what's the text on that again?
While you maintain this ability through ongoing inspiring oration, your allies within short range modify the difficulty of one of the following tasks, your choice, by 1 step to their benefit. Defense tasks, attack tasks, and tasks related to any skill that you are trained or specialized in. So.
Absolutely. So you're pulling the bardic inspiration here.
Yeah.
So like when the lights go out, what does this look like? Does Dallas just start chanting like punch him, Cole, punch him?
I'm like, Cole, I believe this is the moment that you've been waiting for.
Yeah, and my fist just comes forward, and that like thing snaps over and just pop right in the face.
So,
and what
I have a follow-up question.
I love speakers.
Would I be able to use this ability I have called Enthrall and just begin talking to this gentleman and distracting him so that he is unable to like take any other action than get hit in the face?
You could. So right now, so he was at a 2. The bonus is going to bring him down to a 1. And if Cole spends effort, he doesn't even have to roll. He's just going to punch him in the face.
Then I will hold my tongue for the moment.
And it's 3 to spend effort.
It's 3, but then you have
And
an
I have an
edge,
too.
so it's 2. Yep.
I'll do that. And a medium does 4 damage. And
4
is that enough?
points.
Is that enough to drop a level 2 character or not?
So he's got a health, which is independent, and he's got like a little bit of like a light sort of tactical vest on, so he has some armor. So you punch him. He's got like a little bit of a face shield up, and I mean you definitely catch him by surprise and crack him in the face. He doesn't immediately go down, but like he does he stumbles back a step, blood spurts out of his nose, his hands come up, and he's like fumbling his taser out.
Excellent.
So you catch him by surprise on that. Now what I'm gonna need to see the order everybody else goes in is a Cypher initiative roll. So this is a speed related test.
That's cocked.
So the only things that are really going to come into play here, if you're trained in initiative, which you can have, that's a skill, trained in initiative. Again, it'll reduce the challenge. Basically, we're just going to see not the order everybody goes in, but just whether you come first or after the NPC. So they're a level 2, so the challenge is a 6. And if you have anything, and you can also spend effort.
Now, Dan, I know I didn't have to roll for that attack, but could I have rolled to try and get a minor or major effect?
Yes, that is a good point. Yes, you could have, or to deal more damage.
So that was my initiative rolls. I don't want to. Yeah, I did not. I rolled
Okay.
12.
That's a good point.
Quick question. We had to beat a 6 or the level was at 6, making the number we had to beat 18?
The level is a 2, so you had to get 6 or higher to go
Okay.
first. And now Sophie is an inquisitive. Sophie is easily distracted by all the cool things going on around her. She learns things quick, but she actually has an inability in initiative. So an inability is the reverse of being trained in a skill. So for Sophie, instead of a level 2 challenge, her initiative is a level 3, so she actually has to roll 9 or higher. All right. So who is going first before the guard? Everybody.
All right.
I got a 10, so
Yeah, I was like, I got a 12. It's...
I got an 11, so.
I got an 18.
Hey.
It's like
Minor effect on initiative.
All All right.
All right.
This little group is like, screw this guy.
This poor guy.
Yeah, this guard doesn't know what's coming. So I'm gonna say let's go to Loretta first.
Oh, Loretta's like
That's
literally
Alexa
like,
off.
I lost
Let's go to-
audio. Hang on.
Let's go to Dallas first.
All right. So I'm trained in light and medium weapons. Can I just like take my briefcase and just like smack him upside the head with it?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So yeah. I'm just gonna roll.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, that's cocked. It jumped up on another dice and then like landed to the side. Okay, that is a 9.
Okay, so yeah, you definitely smack him with the heavy briefcase, and the briefcase I think would be a light weapon.
I would think so as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So it catches him. There's definitely like an oof as it catches him in the solar plexus, like hits on the armor, so it absorbs some of the blow. And he's looking battered and knocked around. So let's go to Duvane. You were over hacking in on the computer system. The lights go out. You hear crack, punch, pow.
Boom, thwack. I think Duvane just immediately, without missing a beat, just wheels around and with his cybernetic arm, because I don't think he's looking to kill this guy necessarily. I think we're just trying to get out of here and subdue him.
That's right.
So I think his quick calculation is, yeah, don't kill him, or that's going to make this way, way worse. And just with his cybernetic arm, just extend it very quickly, just to punch him.
Okay.
So
We're getting a
I'm trying-
go-go gadget prosthetic
yeah,
arm.
pretty-
Just
basically trying to go. And I, again, as noted, this is my first Cypher game, so I have a slightly higher speed pool than might pool, so I'm hoping I could use that.
Yep,
And
you
a light
have your
arm, that's how
choice.
that
You
works?
can so
Okay.
with melee attacks, so if it's a ranged attack like a gun, then it's always speed. If it's a melee attack, you have your choice at the time of attacking which pool you're spending out of.
Okay,
So
so yeah, I'm gonna
it's-
spend out of speed,
Yep.
and so I spend
so-
1 out of the pool, right?
Nope. So for a level of effort, you spend 3, but then you have an edge of 1, so that subtracts off of your cost. So it's going to be 2.
So okay, so I spent 2 out of the pool,
Yep.
and I rolled a 7.
Yep. So you only needed a 3 or higher because you reduced him from a 2 to a 1 on his challenge.
Okay.
So you whack him, and I guess we need to decide. So normally unarmed attacks are light weapons, right? You're trained in all weapons, so I am fine if you decide that your metal arm is actually a medium weapon.
I mean, it says that I'm practiced with all weapons, so yeah, I would think there might be more than just like, if real life Kyle punches somebody, it's not the same. We can't
Yeah,
all be
this-
like black belts like some people on this channel.
Yeah, that's right.
You still can't hear us.
So yeah, so it's a big metal arm. All right, so you punch him. All right, so medium weapons do 4 points of damage. And he's got some armor, so it absorbs a little bit of this like heavy body blow as your metal fist cracks into him. But he's definitely reeling. He's like totally overwhelmed by this assault and reeling. Alexis, do you hear us again?
I do.
Okay. This guard is on his last legs. What is Loretta doing?
Oh, on his last legs. Well, you know, I like to enable others to be their best.
Oh, I think you're
We lost
audio
you. We lost
cut
you
out
again.
Yeah, no.
Poor tech.
Okay. So let's go with Sophie. So Sophie, even though you're kind of off in La La Land pushing
She
buttons.
says in Twitch
Okay,
chat that
so
he's
she's gonna use
enthralled.
enthrall. Okay, so that's a. So you just pull this over. So that's one intellect point.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so basically, Loretta starts just like blabbing to the guy, and he gets like locked on to her. All right, Sophie and Cole.
I can fix this. I can fix this. Hold on. I got this. It's fine. I want to pull the panel out, and I want to just start pulling out wires. Try to turn up the alarm. It's fine. I got it. I'll fix it. Bang. Smash. Rip it apart. That's how I
All
fix
right.
it.
Okay, excellent. So let's go with basically the same thing you were doing before. So this was a level. I think I said
Can you
level
hear me now?
5.
So-
yes.
I was thinking I would try to scramble the machine by just like pulling wires out of the wall rather than try to make it do something better. Just turn it off.
Okay, excellent. And so your machine interface, this is still a minute, so this is good. And so that's the asset. So we're from a 5 to a 4. And do you want to spend any effort from your intellect pool?
Yeah. I'm just gonna,
Okay, that sounds good. So just double check this. Okay, so for a level of effort, you spend 3 points out of your intellect pool. That reduces it down to a 3. So then we're only looking for a 9 or higher on your dice roll.
Can you hear me now?
That's 16.
Okay, so you madly scramble it. The klaxons, like the alarm stops, but the lights stay off.
That's fine. That's better. It's fine. I got it. It's fine.
All right, and Cole.
just finish this guy off.
Okay, excellent.
Unfortunately, I missed.
Okay, all right. What did you roll? Okay, a 3. Yeah. All right, perfect. Yes. Actually, he's enthralled and can't do anything, so that should be an asset.
Oh, so it's
that
hits.
actually
right.
hits.
You cannot do anything.
Oh, so then I hit him
All
for
right,
4
and
points of
he goes-
damage.
And he goes down like a sack of potatoes.
Nice. So, unfortunately, I could not at the time describe my enthrallment, but I was just basically looking at him and saying, "Now, hang on. Nobody has to get hurt here. We can all just figure this thing out. Something happened with the lights. I'm sure that we can sort out what's going on." And before I've even finished that sentence, he gets clocked.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. Like Cole comes from the side and just does the like whack, straight punch, straight cross, right across the face. Down he goes. The door that leads deeper into the station is like juddering, like open and like partially closed, as if it's on the fritz to let you deeper in the station. But let's fast forward a bit again, as you are in the darkened lab room with this single glowing point of light that comes out of this one of these cubes of crystalline material on the top of this workbench. And you just heard this sound, and then the doors snap close behind you. What do you do?
We see any obvious threats other than creepy ghost cube?
Yeah, so the cube is glowing a little bit brighter and like pulsing in and out softly, sort of with a almost breathing rhythm.
This seems like a situation where the technical folk might want to step in.
Ain't that all of us?
Well, clearly it's only one of us.
Shots fired.
I'm like Sophie might take exception to that.
That's
Yeah.
what he said. It's
Right.
I have a hear or notice danger skill, which I kind of was flavoring as like Orb can like go check things out and then like
So-
you know,
So actually, your hear or notice danger.
is that an inability?
It's an inability.
Okay, it's
So-
under skills, so I wasn't sure. That seems more appropriate.
Yeah, so that's why I've got the I in
Okay.
brackets. So that and initiative are both inabilities for you. So yeah, they're listed under skills, but for you, it's actually things that they're anti-skills. They're things that you're actively bad at.
Then I would say I have not noticed. I am pushing buttons on Orb and like playing with my robot and completely oblivious to what's happening.
Yeah, that's as expected. Yeah, I want to see. So this cube has this cable snaking out of it, right?
Oh, there's like there's many like cubes of different shapes and sizes and colors. I call them all cubes. They're not actually all cubes, but they're crystalline structures. There's cables. There's equipment that you recognize. There's strange equipment. It's a lab full of stuff.
Is there any writing or code in languages that we don't understand sitting around?
There could very well be.
Cole would very much like to look for that.
Okay. So first you're sort of like searching around. So before we figure out what's there for code, we'll do like a general search. So you're looking for something relatively specific. Let's say that this is a challenge level of 3 to find some stuff that's maybe got some writing on it. So this will be an intellect-based task. Yes, Dallas?
I am trained in perception, and I'm going to begin talking Cole through how to look for things very condescendingly. Because
And
I can use my
similarly-
encouragement to improve that.
Similarly, but not condescendingly, Loretta will give him some good advice.
We're encouraging
That
him
Cole
to give
is
good advice.
able to be trained in whatever skill is necessary at this moment.
So you can only benefit from one of these at a time. So, because they both do the same thing. They both give
Yeah.
him.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Technically,
Perception.
mine doesn't train in perception. It actually uses my training in perception to lower his thing by 1.
Oh, you're using one of your abilities, not the.
Yeah, I'm
help.
using encouragement.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I use my training in perception to walk him through how to look for things.
Yeah.
So I'm basically like pointing things out now.
Okay.
I want to
yes.
look over there or over there.
And good advice gives an asset. Okay. All right, so we're down to a 2 from these two people giving you advice, and you can spend effort from intellect
Talking
if you
at
wish.
ya. We're just both talking at you. One of us is a little bit nicer about us than the other.
I need if I find this piece of code writing, I need it. What the hell? That's fine. I'll go down to 6 intellect.
Okay.
Oh, that was a journey. That's it was like 1. No, I'm going to be on 15. I was like, oh.
All right. So yeah. So some gentle, good advice, encouragement, and then Dallas mansplaining you through how to search the goddamn room.
Robot splaining.
Robot explaining.
Dallas,
All right.
yes, I am an armed killer.
But I just feel like if you really were to think about how you go about your process, now we could really like do some lean work here and sort of think through this a little bit more intuitively.
All right, so you find it's not like written paper, but there's a hand terminal that has like some text on it. There's some lab notes, and there is a bit of encrypted text on it.
so I could maybe decipher it with my skill.
Absolutely.
For my ability.
Cipher?
Yep. So, so you spend 1 intellect point and
Mhm.
spend a minute examining this piece of writing or code.
And I do that.
Okay. So you're doing that for the minute studying. What is everyone else doing?
I would like to. There's all these data storage devices, holographic storage, etc., and we're trying to find which one has what we need.
So all of these like crystal structures are basically alien data storage devices.
Alien data storage devices. So probably they don't have a data jack.
Well, I mean, there's they've got things plugged into them.
I love that. Well.
Yeah, that was the most ominous well I've ever
Actually,
heard.
okay, so I've got a
Are
question.
you sure?
Perfection.
Is this where perhaps I check and see if my cipher could help?
Oh, this absolutely. What cipher are you thinking on playing?
I don't know. I don't know anything. Should I just hit the card? Is that what I do?
Yeah, you just hit the card and drag it into the play field there.
I have a. It's not gonna. It's tissue regeneration. It's not gonna do what I need. Wait, flip card. Oh no, not what I need.
Yeah, that just
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty.
Yeah. So I don't think tissue regeneration is gonna be helpful here.
that's right. You can right click and hit take card, and it'll take it back into your thing.
Okay. All right. So in that case, cipher's not gonna help. So then, yeah, I'm just desperately looking for a place to jack in to see if I can kind of get my consciousness into the infosphere around me.
So I mean, there is all kinds of like all these data things are like housed and like nestled into pieces of equipment that have like optic cables coming out. So there's basically like human technology already interfaced with them. All right.
And yeah. So
Okay,
I've got a data jack. Do I need to spend? I need to spend an intellect to do that, right?
That's right. Yep, to turn
Okay.
it on essentially.
Okay. So what? So this says you jack in instantly and learn more about something you can see. You get an answer on a task involving that person or object.
Yeah. I basically treat it like, because you've got a direct connection into like a computer type device, then it's just we do the asset, because usually what happens is you're all wanting to like hack it or whatever, right? So
Okay.
are you doing one of the random cubes or the glowing cube?
I mean, let's go for the gold, y'all.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Let's go straight in. I want to see what. I'm gonna pull a Sophie. Actually, I'm gonna say that out loud. I'm gonna pull a Sophie.
Huh? I'm paying attention now.
I'm just going straight into the glowing, to the one that's
Well,
different than all the
shit.
rest.
Dallas
Dallas's
like, not
reaction.
again.
This is the second time.
That's right.
Actually, Dallas doesn't.
Right.
Dallas doesn't remember. The
Oh
Joseph.
right. Yeah.
And then loaded the AI into the Mars weather system. Anyway,
Right.
all right. Okay, so you'll have an asset. You're
Joseph.
basically at this point you are trying to hack into like military grade tech that is interfaced with alien tech. So this is hard.
Oh
We're,
yeah.
we're starting out at a 7, which is like technically impossible, right? Without assistance. But your data jack is an asset, so that reduces it to 6.
Okay.
All right.
I spent my effort earlier, right? So I
So
don't
you
have
can
it
you
as-
can continue spending from your pools. You can always spend a level of effort until a pool's depleted.
Oh, I thought
So-
that like I got one effort in general.
No, sorry. The one effort means you can only do as your character gets better, they can spend more than one level of effort on a single
Okay.
action. But right
So-
now you're limited to one.
Okay, so I can spend another level of effort, reduce my intellect by another, my intellect pool by another point,
3
right?
points. 3 points. It's 3 points for a level of effort.
But if you have an
Okay.
edge in intellect, you can drop that from a 3 to a 2.
No, my
That's
edge
right.
is in speed.
Okay.
Okay, I probably messed everything up, but anyway, I should have enough anyway to spend a level
Yeah.
of effort.
I think that should be 8 because you were at
Okay.
11.
It's because I thought I had to spend one to do the data. Whatever. You are the one
Yes.
who knows.
Yeah, you spend 1 for the data jack. Yeah, you did that. That activates it.
Okay.
So now spending a level of effort is 3 points.
Okay.
Right? So we've gone from a 7 to a 6 to a 5.
Okay. Is there anything else that I can do to reduce? Like, I'm thinking. Let's see. So I've got. Those are my abilities. Do my skills with computers help here?
Yep. So you have a skill in computers, so that should also apply. So that brings it from a 5 to a 4. So now we're
Is it-
down to a target number of 12 or higher.
Does anybody else have any encouraging words?
I think at this time
Sophie,
we're
what do you got for
encouraging
me?
Cole.
Yeah.
Sophie, what do you got for me? How are you going to help me out?
I might just break it if I try to help.
Ah,
Can Orb help? Because Orb could probably jack into the computer and maybe like help like rewire the enemy computer particles. I don't break down the
Okay.
firewalls, smash the
For
data.
the red code. Green code is good. The red code is bad.
Yeah, so it can help you with your
Okay.
actions.
I wasn't sure if it
Um,
could help others.
I don't see why it couldn't. So that could be an additional asset. So that would bring it from a 4 to a 3.
Okay, so we've gone from a target number of 21 to a target number of 9. That's better.
Yep.
I think that's as good as it's
and
going
that's
to
probably
get.
that's probably about as far as you can
Yeah.
push it.
Yeah. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, it's an 11.
Okay, excellent. so you connect in, and you're into the Monolith Systems center, and you know that Alexis is going to be right back, so I won't switch us to the 3-player overlay just yet. Or sorry, the 4-player. So
Who are you killing off? You madman!
Literally Dallas.
Hey.
So this stream of data starts like rushing through your system in Monolith, and you're into the operating system, messing around, and you got this weird connection, and it's all streaming by in like code that when it gets translated from like machine code, it's all gibberish. It's just like streaming by in a ton of gibberish, and I want to switch over to back to Cole, who is reading a data terminal at the moment. Yeah, you're flipping through the data terminal, and you decipher the code, and it just says, it translates. You're like, what? This doesn't make sense. Star dying darkness?
Oh no.
wait, hear me again?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm
For now.
what this is.
Star dying darkness.
Yeah, like stars die in darkness? Like, this is weird.
What you find in there, Cole?
Well, according to
Walk us
this, stars are dying. There's darkness. Not really sure.
And Duvain, suddenly, I'm gonna give you an intrusion. You can take an XP, or you can spend an XP that you have to refuse the intrusion.
Why would I do that?
I know, exactly. That's the correct answer. Thank you for playing Cypher System.
So,
I love Cypher.
see, this is not. I get what you told me. It's not exactly like Powered by the Apocalypse, but there are some principles that carry over.
Absolutely, it's a narrative focus in the same way. Yeah.
And just like the Powered by the Apocalypse, after a while you start to get happy when you roll 6 or lower because you mark XP and something fun happens.
That's right. So you can mark an XP and then you can give an XP to somebody else.
I'm giving an XP to Cole, who is over there telling me about stars dying in darkness, just like democracy.
All right. So you feel this like cold presence rip through your data connection directly into your central processing system. And the light flares out brighter that everybody can see. And
It's happening again.
you have this overwhelming desire to speak. Do you resist it? Something else is trying to speak through you. Playing your nervous system like a puppet.
No, I think he wants to see if he can, assuming that he feels like he'll be able, assuming I feel like I'll be able to hear it.
Oh,
No,
yes,
I think,
absolutely.
Yeah, then I think I want to, I think the desire to know what this wants to say is worthwhile.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Figure out how. Roll20 jukebox for me does not want to ever work properly.
It's the new system. I don't like it.
The repeat.
Well, now it's
after they updated it, it took me a minute to figure out its quirks.
Yeah, well,
there's a playlist repeat and there's an individual track repeat. They're both different.
Yeah, the thing is that whole side terminal for me is frozen.
Oh no!
Wow, wow.
You might have to refresh Roll20.
Yeah.
We're doing great with tech issues tonight. We're doing great.
Absolutely. So
hey, at least I didn't lose the call an hour in.
Right. I've only lost audio 3 times. It's fine.
It's fine. So the voice that pulls out of Duvain's throat with his voice just says, "I am Nebula's death in the void's grip."
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating.
I start recording whatever's happening.
Perfect. Hello, Nebulous death in the void's grip. I'm Loretta. How are you?
In his mind, Duvain is thinking, this is how they talk to an alien intelligence.
Good thing we can't hear him.
I'm Loretta.
So I have a thing on my Cypher card.
Absolutely.
One of them is a curse bringer.
Ah!
Cool.
So I'm wondering if I can slap it on this AI and basically up their difficulty by 3 to do stuff.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to step over, slap it, and just start unloading slugs into this thing.
Cursebringer is the name of my next death metal band.
Yep.
All right, why don't you play the
join that
card
band.
there into the field, and we'll bring it out.
So I'm
spring in.
thinking Dallas like pulls out this like sort of like pulsating, nebulous looking like thing with these weird tendrils coming off of it. Knew I'd have a hand for this, and I'm just gonna slap it onto the side of one of these cubes.
Excellent. Yeah, because
And
of
just
course
have it sort of like etch.
a lot of ciphers in Bleeding Edge are usually like they're either experimental tech or like, you know, recovered bits of like alien technology. So I like to think this is probably a little bit of alien tech. You plop it out and it's soft and squishy and it's like a gray gooey sort of substance, pulls out of like a little glass sleeve, and it's got these tendrils hanging off of it. And when you like whack it, the tendrils go rigid and then drive into the crystal cube, and you can see tendrils snaking out through them, through the crystal network, like rapidly, as this it's apparently some little bit of nanotech that's like rapidly turning some of the crystalline material into more of itself and replicating through the cube.
That is
Causing it to,
fascinating
like,
too.
flicker and stutter.
They did say destroy too as an option. I'm just unloading onto this thing.
You know,
Yeah.
we usually do that as a last resort, but you know, whatever.
Can I also use a cipher in this moment as this is happening?
Absolutely.
So I'll use all the ciphers.
I have a cipher